Welcome back to MysteryHQ. In this video, I'm going to show you the locations of all 25 Intel collectibles on the new Totenreich Zombies map in BO7 Zombies. I will have the in-game hints on screen, so you can easily track which ones you are missing, and you can also use the timestamps to jump straight to the intel you need. If this video helps you out, drop a like and let me know in the comments. Starting from spawn, head to the right hand side and you will find your first audio log sitting on top of some barrels, and the hint for this one is barrels of fun. From there, head back towards the robot head and you will see a large blown up wooden barrel, and right next to it, it's the next audio log with the hint Holey buckets. Now before moving on, make sure you have unlocked Pack-a-Punch, because several of the next intel pieces are in areas that requires power to be back on. Once that's done, head over to the right side of the map into this general area, where you can pick up a few intel pieces close to each other. First, along this path you will find a document on the wall with the hint another round. Then if you continue forward, there's an audio log on top of this boat with the hint all ashore. After that, head back towards the square and follow this route to the bakery. On a crate outside, you will find the next document with the hint fresh buns. Finally, head up the nearby stairs towards the Skull market. There, under a crate on a cart near the broken power line you had to repair, you will find the next document with the hint craft services. Now let's head back to spawn and collect the intel on the left side of the map, starting in the dry dock area. There's a document sitting on a barrel here next to the ship with the hint refueling. From there, turn around and follow this route into the war factory. You will find an audio log on top of a console with the hint control issues. Then head upstairs, turn around and look for an open vent. Throw an explosive inside to drop a document with the hint can I vent? From here go outside to the core foundry, and inside this small building you will find a blueprint, and this is also our first artifact. Finally head back outside and enter the building where you repaired the power line. You will find an audio log on your right next to this radio with the hint mixed signals. Now let's head over to the Fishery Island where Pack-a-Punch is located. First, there's a document with the hint overpacked. Just look at the large red building next to Pack-a-Punch, which is partially collapsed, and the intel is sitting on a ledge that you will need to jump to. Next, you will notice some debris nearby. That's actually blocking access to a secret lab that contains 2 intel pieces. To open it, you will need an ARCXD. You can grab a free one from this crate at Skull Square in every single match. Once you have it, head back to the core foundry and destroy this vent cover. Then you just have to drive the ARCXD through the vent, guide it down the stairs and boost it to jump on the boat, then enter the lab and blow up the car next to the red barrels to clear the debris. Well, in my game, on my first attempt, I managed to completely miss the boat, fell in the water, and yet somehow I still opened the lab. So it might worth checking in your game if you fail it, as it seems bugged right now. Anyway, after that, return to Pack-a-Punch, and inside the lab you will find an audio log on the left and an artifact on the wall to the right. Next we have 3 intel pieces tied to the Jotunn Star Wonder Weapon quest. If you already know how to build it, skip to this timestamp. Otherwise, here's a quick guide for those who stayed. Start at the storm bridge near that shot and pick up the chili chunks. Then head to the market and place them on this table. Now you need to wait until around 10 when the second freeze max ammo round happens, so let's grab another part in the meantime. Go to the dry dock area and press this green button inside this building. This will make the crane lower a metal wall. You have to use this wall to bounce onto the front of the ship and in midair interact with it to collect the chains. If the crane elevates the wall, you can reactivate it as many times as you want, so there's no way you fail this. Okay, then you have to bring the chains back to the market area, and at the very back you have to use them on the blocked building to open a path down to burial grounds, but more about this area a bit later. Okay, so let's skip ahead to round 10, and this time you have to stay in the market in the freeze round, and the bear will spawn to eat the chili chunks. You need to kill this bear and pick up the lantern it drops. You have to take this lantern to the burial grounds and place it on the pedestal. The sides of the pedestal and the wall around you will display constellations. What you need to do is to check the sides of the pedestal and interact with the same constellations on the wall, but you need to do this in an order. So if you stand on the stairs and face the pedestal, the first one is left, then right, then the back, and lastly the front symbol. The symbols are random in every game, but the order is always the same, and I mean, here's an example how I did it. First, I checked the left side of the pedestal and I've seen this weird arrow looking symbol, so then I looked around on the wall, and when I saw it I interacted with it. Then I checked the right side, and for me it was the archers, so I interacted with that constellation. Then I did the same thing for the back and the front constellations too. Just as a heads up, if you mess it up, don't worry, you can retry this step again on the same round. You just have to activate the lantern again, but keep in mind the constellations will change on your pedestal. Once completed, a ghost named Astrid will appear. You need to follow her around and charge her at 2 soul box locations using frozen zombies. After the second one near the lighthouse, huge rocks will start floating and you can parkour your way up to the lighthouse. This is where the intel comes in. When you reach the lighthouse and enter for the first time, you can grab the first document from the crate inside. By the way, this area stays open later, so you can come back if you miss this intel. The hint for this one is don't stare. Then you just have to continue climbing and jumping your way up to the top of the lighthouse and enter. But before you pick up the wonder weapon here, you have to turn to the right and grab the second document from the window with the hint being Lightkeeper. If you don't pick this one up right here at this point, you need to restart your game and do the wonder weapon quest all over again. So if I were you, I would absolutely pick this up. Okay, after that you can finally pick up the Jotunn Star wonder weapon, which is also an artifact. Next, we have 7 intel pieces tied to Richtofen's backstory, unlocked through a side easter egg. To start this, you need to be playing as Richtofen, I know, quite obvious, and also you need to have the Jotunn Star built, have melee macchiato, and be on round 15 or higher. One important note: if you get melee macchiato or build the Jotunn Star after round 15, you will need to advance one more round before you can do what I'm about to show you. So head to the core foundry and face this barrel. Once all the conditions are met, you can melee it and it will pop open. You can interact with it then to dig inside and find the badge. Picking it up gives you an artifact and teleports you into Richtofen's memory. Also keep in mind, if you did save and quit in your game, this easter egg becomes inaccessible due to a bug, so you have to do the entire thing in one go. I'm not going to show you the full sequence here since it's packed with lore, but I will point out where to find all the intel pieces inside. As soon as you spawn in, you have to go through this corridor, but while you are doing that you can pick up 3 documents from the ground before entering the main room, so make sure you don't miss any of them. Okay, so once you are inside, you can interact with this radio, and first it's going to play some voice lines by New York announcers. To get all the audio logs, enter these 3 codes into the radio. After that, the rest of the sequence plays out, and once you return to the map, everything will unlock, including a Dark Ops challenge. Lastly, we have another side easter egg that gives the Fishy fish boat artifact. To start, head over to the lighthouse island and pick up the fish next to the arsenal machine, and also make sure you have some shock charges too. Then wait for the TED task to appear. Start the task, place the fish on the right side of the machine if you are facing it, and once you see it there, throw a shock charge at it. After electroshooting Ted, complete the task at the highest rarity. Once finished, you will be able to pick up the fish along with another part. Take both items to the pub at Eidskallen Square and build it on the wall to unlock the artifact. And that's pretty much it for this video. If this guide was helpful to you, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And remember, with every new map release, I'll be posting a new intel guide on my channel. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.